CTV News at 5 with Tony Rima and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Tony is off. The judge's verdict in a 2020 murder case sparked outrage in a Sault courtroom today. CTV's Courtney Nordstrom was there and has more on the stabbing death of Samuel Graham Jr.
It was a packed courtroom this morning as Justice Alexander Kirk delivered his decision on the 2020 stabbing death of Samuel Graham Jr. The declaration of not guilty on first-degree murder charges and guilty on manslaughter charges for Montana Lewis brought screams of anger from the victim's relatives and insults hurled at Lewis and his family. The incident in question took place in November of 2020. In what the judge viewed as vengeance for an earlier fight, Lewis attacked Graham with a knife outside the Lewis family's Muriel Drive residence. The lone stab wound punctured Graham's aorta and led to his death. In delivering the verdict, Judge Kirk outlined what was necessary in determining a first-degree murder charge, ultimately believing that while Lewis did commit an unlawful act, he did not mean to cause the death of his sister's boyfriend. Sentencing for Montana Lewis will take some time. Pre-sentence and Gladio reports have both been ordered. This matter returns to the Sault Courthouse on February 25th. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Sudbury police say a pedestrian who was hit by an SUV on Algonquin Boulevard last week has now died as a result of their injuries. The 59-year-old woman was believed to be crossing Algonquin at the time when she was struck by the SUV, which was heading toward Regent Street. She was rushed to Health Sciences North in critical condition. Police say they are continuing to investigate the incident. Time for your first check on weather. For more details, we go to CTV's Rick Wyman. Rick, a lot of us, all right, at least me here, hoping for warm weather. What do you got?
That's the biggest question at Costco this morning when I dropped by just before I came to work. I'll tell you in just a couple of minutes. Forecast radar. Here we go with our systems map courtesy of CAA. Get your membership today. Get CAA.ca. Okay, we're done with the precipitation. One more wind chill night. Tomorrow morning it'll be pretty cold. Then it starts to perk up. It'll get warmer by about midday tomorrow, continuing into Sunday. You'll really like Sunday. We'll talk about those 5-day numbers and a lot more, Ian, coming up in just a couple of minutes. Yes, it will warm up.
I heard perk up. I'll take it. Thanks, Rick. Well, it's now confirmed the Parasite residents of Saskatchewan were sick with is present in their water. That from Indigenous Services Canada. Raw and treated water samples from the remote Northern Ontario community tested positive for Cryptosporidium. Those same samples did not find E. coli present. Saskatchewan declared a state of emergency January 4th, followed by a full-scale evacuation for residents due to the failed water infrastructure system. A do not consume water advisory was issued January 5th. However, some residents began dealing with gastrointestinal-like symptoms. The investigation pointed to the water.
As of yesterday's numbers, I think the number is 63 people that have tested positive. However, the number of people that did get it is probably much higher than what's being reported through the tests that we've been doing.
In a statement to CTV News, the ISC says anyone presenting with concerning health symptoms is encouraged to seek medical attention. In community, ISC nurses are providing care out of the temporary nursing station in the community school. At host sites, health services are available and being expedited. With Laurentian faculty already on the picket lines, it's looking like academic staff at Nipissing University could be the next group to follow suit. After 3 sessions with a conciliator, the contract academic staff bargaining unit requested a no-board report from the Ministry of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development. After an agreement wasn't reached during conciliation, it means the parties will be in a strike or lockout position in 17 days after the report, or Monday, February 2nd. Both sides were going through mediation today, and so far we don't have an update as of yet. Time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. For now, let's go to a live shot of downtown Timmins. This shot coming from City Hall and coming courtesy of the city. It's looking like a quiet night down on Algonquin Boulevard soon. Hopefully with the weather, it stays that way. We'll check in with Rick for more details on that when we return. Stay with us. You're watching CTV Northern Ontario.
Fuel your Fridays with CTV and Pure Country. Congratulations to Patty Leonard, our final winner of a $100 gas gift card. Fuel your Fridays, powered by CAA. Life isn't one size fits all. Neither is CAA. Here we go with the weekend look at the weather, and you'll like it. Sunday will be real nice across the Northeast. Let's check out the forecast radar. No precipitation, looking awfully good. Loads of sunshine for tomorrow, clearing in the Northeast, and then it'll start to perk up a little bit by Sunday evening, Sunday night, and some precipitation will roll in early next week. Let's check out some of those numbers now. Our 5-day forecast: Sudbury Nickel Belt, wind chill tomorrow morning, minus 32 when you wake up, minus 11 the high. Sunny skies on Sunday, minus 9. Hey, minus 6 on Monday with the cloud cover. Tuesday, minus 12, chance of flurries, and minus 9 again, some sun and cloud on Wednesday. So Sunday, Monday, warmer days ahead, so you'll like that. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, wind chill tomorrow morning, minus 28 on the wake up, minus 8 your expected high, minus 6 Sunday, sunny skies, minus 5. Chance of flurries on Monday. Tuesday, minus 11, sunny skies. Wednesday, cloud cover again, minus 6 with the low pressure system. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, wind chill minus 32 tomorrow morning, minus 11 your daytime high. Sunny skies Sunday, minus 5, minus 7. Chance of flurries on Monday, chance of flurries once again for that day at minus 7 degrees. I'll get that right. Tuesday, sun and cloud. Wednesday, sun and cloud, minus 15 and minus 10 your daytime highs. How about Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake? Wind chill minus 29 tomorrow morning on the wake up, minus 11 your daytime high. Sunny skies Sunday, minus 10, minus 8 Monday, cloud cover. Tuesday, chance of flurries, minus 14, and again warming up, minus 10. Wednesday, loads of sunshine, so more sunshine in the Northeast as we head into a new month, and I like that. North Bay, West Nipissing, wind chill tomorrow morning, minus 24, gradual clearing, minus 10 your daytime high, minus 10 on Sunday. Sunshine Monday, sun and cloud, minus 7. Chance of flurries Tuesday, minus 10. A lot of minus 10s this week in the forecast, and minus 10 on Wednesday with sunny skies. So Ian, yes, it will perk up. Starting by about midday tomorrow, we'll get rid of that nasty wind chill. And then tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, into Sunday warmer weather. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Rick. Well, sad entertainment news. Veteran Canadian TV and comedic legend Catherine O'Hara has passed away.
What else could we be forgetting?
Arguably in this country best known for her work on SCTV alongside stars like John Candy and Eugene Levy, O'Hara would go on to have iconic roles in both Home Alone and Schitt's Creek. It was that role, Moira Rose, that won the Toronto native critical acclaim for her work, including a Primetime Emmy. She also won multiple Canadian Screen Awards, a Golden Globe, and a SAG Award. Catherine O'Hara was 71 years old. Ontario's Transportation Minister was in North Bay today to highlight some of the efforts underway to improve symptoms connecting the North and South. That includes the return of the Northlander passenger rail service and safety issues along both Highways 11 and 17. CTV's Eric Tashner reports.
Work continues to chug along to reawaken the Northlander passenger rail train. $100 million is being set aside for rail infrastructure upgrades.
We wouldn't have poured hundreds of millions of dollars into this project if we didn't believe in it.
The Northlander is set to return to the tracks, targeting an end of spring, early summer launch, with 16 stops along the 740-kilometer route.
I can remember the day that they announced that the Northlander was going away. It was sad.
Ticket prices will be announced before the train pulls away for the first time.
We're getting closer. We're in the testing phase now.
Acknowledging there won't be a net surplus right away once the Northlander restarts, and being cognizant of the fact that the government will be funding the train, Sarkaria says it was not acceptable for it to ever get scrapped.
We have high hopes for this line. With the amount of interest that we've already seen on this line will be significant, but we will backstop that.
The train is not the only crucial transportation link between the North and South Sarkaria is addressing. Last week, protests called for improvements to Highways 11 and 17.
It's not safe. We have so much traffic. The maintenance, it's not the same for every town. You're driving, it's beautiful, it's nice, and then and then you're stuck on ice.
Sarkaria had this to say.
At the end of 2025, we conducted over 120,000 inspections. That's up over 40% from a year ago, with a focus on Northern Ontario.
Touting a $400 million highway infrastructure upgrade package in 2024 and 2025, and increasing the number of transportation officers, Sarkaria says early work on the long-awaited 2+1 highway pilot design will begin this summer to reduce head-on collisions.
Making sure that we get that project off the ground.
Much cheaper to build, and yet also has very, very significant safety benefits when you compare it with twinning.
Whether it's roads or trains, Sarkaria emphasizes the province knows talk is cheap and action is needed. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Member of Parliament for Nipissing-Temiskaming is speaking out about protecting Canadian jobs and ensuring the country is ready for the renegotiation of the Canada-US-Mexico trade deal, even if the United States is not. Pauline Rochefort was the guest speaker at a State of Canada breakfast chat in North Bay. She spoke about challenges the U.S. is placing on the CUSMA agreement review in July. The deal, which President Trump has called, quote, irrelevant, and Canada plans to mitigate tariff pain. Rochefort says many major American business leaders don't want to see the deal fall to the wayside, and they are hopeful they'll convince U.S. lawmakers of its importance.
So we are entering this review in a very, I would say, I'm not sure if optimistic is the right term, but moving forward with a positive step.
What people want to see is they want to get rid of that uncertainty dialogue that's happening so they can plan and make changes that they need to make at their level. It's really hard to plan from a business perspective when you really don't know what's going on.
Rochefort also spoke about defense investments into 22 Wing Canadian Forces Base and acknowledged the decision by North Bay Police not to participate in the federal government's assault-style weapon buyback program. An annual fundraiser that supports the United Way, Centraide, Northeast Ontario has unveiled the campaign total. Vale Base Metals and the United Steelworkers 6500 raised more than $786,000. The total includes a matching $350,000 donation from Vale. The company was filled with events such as presentations, barbecue fundraisers, and agency tours. This was the 43rd annual campaign.
Vale USW represents the strongest campaign that we have in this community, and it supports all of the organizations. We have 29 funded partners this year that are being funded by these dollars. So without them, we would truly not be here, and many of those organizations would not be offering the services that they currently are.
Seeing that money being given, especially when we know times are as tough as they are, and there's more people asking for money than are actually able to give, it's overwhelming to see.
We realize that budgets are stretched. And it's so incredible that this year the number went up. So people are still recognizing that they can make a difference, positive, and increasing their donations.
Since 1982, Vale and the USW's joint fundraising effort has been the largest contributor to the United Way, with more than $22 million raised in 43 years. A community-driven safety initiative in Greater Sudbury is hitting the streets with a brand new look. Sudbury Police unveiled the new decal for its Citizens on Patrol vehicles, otherwise known as COPS. COPS is a volunteer program focused on crime prevention and neighborhood security. The design was selected by the public following a community-wide vote. Looking good. Coming up on CTV News at 5, we'll have last night's hockey scores. Plus, we'll check in with the Sudbury Wolves with more on how they fared. Spoiler alert, it was a tough night for all our teams.
Hockey This Week is brought to you by Rastall Nut and Bolt Company. Coppercliff Reds U11 AA team coming off a rather successful weekend, a huge weekend just over a week ago, of course, at the Silver Stick in Sarnia. Our guest tonight is head coach Peter Micheludi Jr. He's in Vegas getting ready for another tournament this week with the team in Barrie, but that's okay. He's taken a couple of minutes to tell us about the experience. Silver Stick weekend, totally unforgettable. And again, when you look at the aspects of having to defeat so many teams to reach the gold medal game, Peter, it had to be quite the ordeal. How tough was the competition?
It was it was a great weekend. It was obviously a lot of very good hockey teams, and the players needed to compete and play how we've been trying to kind of teach and promote throughout the season. And like you said, it was not even just getting to the finals there. You kind of look back of just getting to the international. You have to win your way into that tournament by winning the regional in Sudbury there in the end of or the beginning of December. And again, those were some hot-fought games. We had a semifinal was like a 1-0 game and another 2-1 game. So many close games that I don't think people realize how hard it is to get there. And I'm not sure if the kids really understand that, but yeah, it's definitely something special, and it was a lot of fun.
Well, your father actually called it. He thought that maybe your team would go to, Sarnia for the Silver Stick. So tell me about the whole thought process of when you and the team, the assistant coaches, actually thought, you know what, maybe we can win this.
Well, it kind of goes back to last year. We ended up winning the Sudbury Regional last year, and most of the players on this team have come back. But we lost in the finals, in the international finals in Newmarket. And obviously last year the U11 AA team in Sudbury, they ended up winning the international Silver Stick, and a lot of our players played with a lot of those players. So it was definitely like a kind of a big brother mentality. We saw that team win, and we felt that we could probably kind of follow their footsteps if we had that opportunity. So we knew we had a team that can compete, and if we played our game, we had a chance to win. But it was just now kind of putting everything together, and obviously you got to get the breaks, you got to play well, and you got to just try and find ways to win. And obviously we had a very good weekend, and ultimately came out on top in a hard-fought championship game.
So was this a case of leaning on one or two players, maybe your goalies, or was this just a collective effort in order to win that final over Toledo?
This is our team has been a team effort. There's not one or two players, right from whether our forwards, our defense, our goalies. I feel we're a very hard team to play against. We match up well against other teams. We're tough. We back check very hard. We're very good defensively, and we don't give up a lot of opportunities. And yeah, it's definitely a full team effort, because there was a lot of the games, whether that tournament or throughout that tournament or in the finals, where we came out. We might have scored a few goals later on, but a lot of the games were very tight, and both of our goaltenders were outstanding, and they kept us in, especially when teams were pressing at the beginning. And ultimately we finally came through at the end. And like I said, in that last game, the score turned out to be with an empty net 7-4, but it was a lot closer. It definitely wasn't comfortable throughout the whole game.
Making Greater Sudbury, and in particular Coppercliff, proud. The coach of the U11 AA team, winners of the Silver Stick in Sarnia. Peter, again, congratulations and good luck in your future endeavors this spring. A busy schedule. Thanks for dropping by.
All right, thank you very much for having me.
That's Hockey This Week for this week. We're back in 7 days with more.
In the OHL, all three Northern teams were on the road last night. The Sudbury Wolves were in Peterborough taking on the Petes.
Across, pass, shot, they score!
The Wolves were behind, trailing, but a shot from Jean-Christophe Lemieux put them on the board late in the second period thanks to an assist from Hudson Martin. That would be the only goal scored by the Wolves last night. The Petes took a 4-1 win. Meanwhile, the Battalion faced the Windsor Spitfires but suffered a close 4-3 loss. And the Sioux Greyhounds fall to the Niagara Ice Dogs, who took home ice advantage 6-3. Tonight, Sudbury continues its road trip. It heads into Kingston to take on the Frontenacs. North Bay is in London facing off against the Knights. And the Sioux Greyhounds also on the road. They're down in Erie facing off against the Otters. And there was just one game in the NOJHL last night. In Sudbury, the Cubs crushed the Espanola Paper Kings 10-2. Tonight over in the NOJHL, the Timmins Rock head down to Powassan to face off against the Voodoo. The Kirkland Lake Gold Miners are welcoming the Blind River Beavers into town for a 7 o'clock start. And it's a battle of the Sioux across the border as the Sioux Thunderbirds take on the Sioux Michigan Eagles. When we return, we'll take a look at your community close up. You're watching First at 5. Time now for a look at your community close up, and for that we begin in Sault Ste. Marie. Bruce Lee felt it had been a long time without a sunset coming from the city. He grabbed this wonderful shot from the marina for us, and as it was tough trying to keep his hands warm. I bet it was really cold the last few nights. Thanks so much for sticking it out for us, Bruce. Dennis and Brenda from Wanapitei sent us this great video of a blue jay in what looks to be, I'm guessing, a bird bath. Clearly a little cold for those birds to be taking a dip, but maybe he was just eating. I'm not sure. Maybe taking a rest, but thanks for keeping our feathered friends fed there, you guys. Diana Ducharme of Valcarin came across this partridge enjoying a sunny yesterday out in Valcarin. She says this was taken from her backyard. It was sunny but cold. That bird looks all feathered out. Very cool to see some wildlife like this, even with all our snow. And finally, this next video and pictures come from Graham Gretan of Sault Ste. Marie. He came across a deer doing its job on their red pine beside the stairs to the beach in Point Louise. He adds she may not have egg on her face, but she does have a few pine needles in her mouth. I think it's pretty cute. Thanks, Graham. If you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. Finally tonight, there's a very special donut available at Tim Hortons this weekend, supporting some very talented Special Olympic athletes.
Funds will go towards supporting Team Ontario, which will be representing the province at the National Summer Games later on in August. So the funds go.
Proceeds from the sale of these Special Olympic donuts will clearly support the local community, as the coach was just mentioning, and the athletes. Over the past 4 years, the donut has raised more than $3.4 million for Special Olympics Canada.
Which will be representing the province at the National Summer Games later on in August. So the funds go to supporting their training, their competition, and their practices in advance. Here in Sudbury, we have 6 athletes and coaches who will be part of that team, but across the greater Northeastern Ontario, the team grows to 50 athletes.
That was taken at the new Sudbury location. I can see the Chief Cunningham there alongside some of the athletes who promised some donuts for staff back at the station. They are delicious, and what a fantastic cause. There's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.